Up on this hill in Young stands the historic Hoghland General Store. While the price of the pump reads 27 cents a gallon, you can't gas up here anymore or buy groceries. It is now an Americana museum, a time capsule of Young. Well, when the town was a lot younger.
It was when Pleasant Valley was growing, okay? They had just come out of the Pleasant Valley War. There was a few structures starting to be built here. We were starting to see progress evolve in Pleasant Valley.
The store's colorful history started in 1920.
So Frank Bragg came here and bought this property, and a few years later built the store. And this is the southwest corner of the Graham Ranch. And so Frank Bragg started the store. He had it for several years, but then he got a leg infection, went to Globe, and he didn't come home. He passed away.
It changed hands several times until the store's namesake moved to town and purchased the property.
So Ray Hoghland owned the store from 1937 up until he died in 1982. So that's why we kept the name the Hoghland Store, because Ray owned it for all those years.
Here's 4 loaves of bread for 63 cents.
Robin and Carla Alborn are the current owners, but they had a different reason for buying the store.
That was in '65.
It was bulldozer material. It just had tremendous story. It had pretty good bones, but I think we got caught up in all the stories of everybody's history that had lived here from the 20s all the way to the 80s and 90s. And we said, you know, this is a story it's got to be told, because there's still a lot of kids and grandkids that are left that remember their grandma and grandpa being here in this valley. So we decided to spend the money, buy it, and we instantly got out our hammers.
With amazing attention to detail, the couple brought Hoghland's back to life. Just look at the original products back on the restored shelves.
There was a huge barn out back that we couldn't save. We tore them all down. We repurposed every piece of steel and every piece of old wood off of those barns to do what we had to do here to keep the integrity of the Hoghland store. Plus, finding all of the original stuff still here. I mean, and everything that you unraveled and things you found out under piles of junk, it got you really into the history.
They've uncovered quite a few treasures under those piles of junk in the basement, which they call the dungeon, including the original gas pumps and cash.
Well, when I got in there and I started cleaning, I noticed the pack rats had made nests out of money, out of bills. And so I grabbed it at the top of one of the shelves and started throwing stuff in. It was wet, it was damp, it was gross. And all of a sudden, $20 bills started hitting the ground. I knew then I was going to have to go through every piece of paper. There were barrels full of stuff down there. Anything that belonged to the store has stayed to the store. We've had people want to buy stuff. We say no.
We had Frank and Mike try to buy of the pickers. Yeah, they called us and they said, we'd like to pick your property.
We'll probably edit that.
Robin and Carla say they've done their part and now they're ready to retire. They're hoping someone will now buy the museum and pour as much love into it as they have.
This wasn't built as a historic place. It became a historic place. It was always for entrepreneurs to try to scratch out a living in this remote location of Arizona. But there'll be someone else that will purchase this, and they'll be that entrepreneur that will take it to another level, open it up again. People will come up here and sit on the benches like they did for the last 100 years.
It'll be a
and talk about
gathering place for the community. That's what we would like to see. Because if that happens, we have achieved our what we've wanted.